He'd been preparing for the TRC his entire life. It was time for life to get interesting. Principal Williamson was short and energetic, with bouncy brown hair tied in a ponytail and her face thick with makeup that shone under the gym lights. She wore a silky blue jumpsuit with sequins on the collar and held a microphone in her hands like a DJ. At least, that was what Yusuf thought DJs dressed like. You needed to go to Houston or Austin for an actual concert, and Amma and Abba would faint if he ever suggested it. Good Muslim kids didn't go to concerts, they'd say, frowning with disappointment. Daniel had found a space on the floor all the way in the far corner of the gym. "Over here!" he waved to Yusuf. Yusuf sank down into the empty spot next to his best friend. "Why didn't you walk to school with me?" he grumbled, fiddling with his glasses. Daniel shrugged, his floppy black hair spilling onto his forehead and around his ears. "My mom wanted to drop me off since it was the first day and all. I think she just wanted to show off her new Jeep." Yusuf squished the tiny spark of envy inside his chest. Daniel's parents were computer engineers, and they worked in the new Exxon regional headquarters about 20 miles out of town. This was his mom's third new car since Daniel was born. "Come home with me after school?" Daniel asked. "I got a new Lego set we can build together." Yusuf stared straight ahead at Principal Williamson. She stood on a little wooden stage, checking her microphone, whispering, "Hello? Hello?" "Can't," he replied reluctantly. "My mamu is visiting at dinner." "The uncle from Houston? He's cool." Yusuf didn't say that a Lego set sounded cooler. That was a given. But Uncle Rahman came a close second. "Did you set up your email yet?" Daniel continued. "I'm thinking of changing my username to Legomaniac 2021. Yusuf didn't know you could change your username. Why would anyone want to do that? "I'm okay with mine. Besides, what will you do next year? Change it to 2022? Daniel obviously hadn't thought of that. He shrugged like he didn't care, but his face was scrunched up as if he'd swallowed a pickle. "This is so childish," he complained, nodding to the front of the gym. "What? It's middle school. It's what they do on the first day." Yusuf was sure this welcome assembly was a time-honored tradition. At least, that was what the email last night had said. The sound system crackled, making them jump. "Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Frey Middle. I'm your principal, Mrs. Williamson, and I'll be your pilot for the duration of your flight." There was silence. A few groans. Principal Williamson looked around with a pained face. "Wow, tough crowd. Okay, no worries. I realize it's the first day of middle school for some of you, and you're probably still in summer vacation mode. Not a problem. Now, let me go over some rules before y'all head on to your classrooms." Yusuf tried to listen to the rules. He really did. There were easy ones, like no running in the hallways and no fighting ever. Wandering the school without a hall pass was the biggest crime a kid could commit, apparently. There was something about bathroom breaks and a great deal about the sports teams you could join. But the note in his locker kept swimming into his vision until Mrs. Williamson's face resembled a lined notebook paper with black letters on it. "Did you open your locker yet?" he whispered to Daniel. Daniel was jotting down the names of all the sports clubs on the palm of his hand. Soccer on Monday, basketball on Tuesday and Friday, wrestling on Wednesday, yoga on Thursday. "Why would anybody choose yoga?" he whispered back. "Yoga is for old ladies." "Yoga is meditation from ancient India." "I really don't care. It's for old ladies." Yusuf decided there was no use arguing. He chewed on the inside of his cheek, then asked again,